welcome to another episode of Psycho's Platter. Is always part of the coffee each and every time. It is the mighty Psycho promise. I hope everybody is doing good. There we go. That's what I wanted. Hope everybody's doing real good today. It is Saturday, the 23rd of March. Yes. So I thought I would come on here for about an hour, maybe about an hour and a half tops, just to see how everybody's doing. I hope everybody has had themselves a really great day. I know from my mom and some friends up in Illinois that they got snowed on. What was it? One of my Rockford friends took a picture, and it's like it was between 7 and 8 inches of snow over in Rockford, Illinois yesterday. I'm like, jeez. Sorry, I don't miss it that much. I just don't. But needless to say, I thought maybe I would come on here just for a little while anyway, and I don't know, just as Nick, it's been a while since I've seen. Yeah, you know what? Things are sort of better. Okay, thank you for asking. You know, I do get to actually catch some of yours and George's Sunday live streams. But you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. As much as I want to come up there, and I would love to come up there, you guys start talking, when you guys start talking audiophile stuff and like microphones and pedals, you'll lose me. I can't contribute to the conversation. That's why I just listen. You should listen to Young Leon. Psychos, you might like it. It's pop rock stuff. I'm willing to experiment in, let's see here. Where the hell's my list? There we go. Young Leon. Listen to. All right. Thank you. Needless to say, oh, the Nerd Tark, you're welcome anytime, Paul. We can chase you. Well, no, it's whatever the flow goes. I'm not going to screw up the flow just because I don't understand it. I think you guys come on like 8 p.m. Central, and that's actually just when I get out of work. Unfortunately, tomorrow I found out that even though I get out of work at 8 o'clock, I got to end up taking my kid to work, so I'm not even going to be home till 9:15 my time anyway. So I was debating about doing this show either tonight or Monday night because, I don't know, my energy level just wasn't really that good. Hasn't been for the last few days. But before we get into everything, I want to give an update for everybody. I really do want to thank everybody for all the prayers, okay? We've had many prayer chains, prayer circles, whatever you want to call them. My granddaughter Charlotte is now home. Yes, as of yesterday evening, she spent 22 days at the NICU in St. Louis, and she got home. Thank you. And this show, you know, Charlotte Michelle, well, I love you. Crazy Grandpa will be coming to see you in a few weeks after you are well rested. Yep, 9 p.m. Eastern Central Time, 8 p.m. Central, 7 Mountain. Right here on the VC network. I love you guys too. Danny, how you doing? You know what, Danny? I was expecting, I don't know why I was expecting, I thought Joe was going to be on this morning. It was really funny. I'm like, hey, where the hell's Joe? So that's why I was like, I was all gung-ho because I was not feeling good for the last couple of days. And I'm like, yeah, so if he's on tomorrow, then maybe I'll chime on in there. But glad to see you here too. Yes, that's right. So thank God Charlotte is out of the hospital. So, all right. New subs. John Parker and Dujin Dunikin. Yeah, that's right. Dujin Dunikin, thank you. To joining the Psyko network. That's right. We love having our new people here and our faithful, been around a long time. Oh, he was on late? Oh, that figures. What was I doing? Oh, yeah, I was filming the new JFH, Jukebox from Hell. That's right. And the new Jukebox from Hell, in case you were wondering, and even if you didn't, you're going to find out anyway, was the 1979 Bad Publicity from Angel. That's right. Yes, here was the front, here's the back. This album, the early pressings were this. So this is a true first press, if you will, because I tried looking up, I could not come up with a good reason as to why Casablanca changed it from Bad Publicity to Sinful. It's the same track order and everything on here. So that is the new Jukebox from Hell. The next episode will be the 1972 album from former Fleetwood Mac guitarist Jeremy Spencer and the Children of God. That's right. That's going to be an interesting topic, in my opinion. Petty linger in my ears and my eyes. I'm saying yes, thank you so much, honestly. I wasn't all. Hey, shenanigans. I just got done messaging shenanigans not too long ago. Miss you, shenanigans. I do. I hope you feel better. I hope. Right? Right. So I'm trying to think. As far as for it's 27 for me. I just got. That's all right, JB. Go. In the words of AC/DC, have a drink on me. And by the way, that Back in Black album, I don't care what anybody says. I still think Bon Scott had his hand in 3 of those Back in Black songs. Have a Drink on Me is one of them. I cannot remember the other 2 currently. Might have been Back in Black was one of them too. But of course they wouldn't mention it. Also, ladies and gentlemen, this video is in tribute to Carl Wallinger from World Party. That's right, he passed away this past week. I never really got into World Party, but it was the 80s, 90s, There's so many 80s bands out there, and I'll tell you who seems to know his 80s bands for a hell of a lot better than I do, or at least on the pop scene, if you will, is Stephen Schnee. I mean, he knows his stuff, I had somebody compliment me earlier today in my Angel video here that I know my knowledge of music. Well, some of it I know, but a lot of it I have to do research on, and I learn a lot of things no matter what the topic is. Hi, Dwayne. How are you, sir? That's right. We'll end up talking about some other points here, but I kind of want to go into the title today. To my lovely 11 people currently watching right now, and thank you. So, we titled this episode, Bad Company with Nillson and a Serial Killer. And I know you guys are like, what the holy hell, Psyko, are you talking about now? Oh, okay, the clip. So we'd had a discussion, me and Shannon did, and about songs that we know the lyrics we sing are not the right ones, but we come across them. Like one of the big ones, for example, for Purple Haze's Jimi Hendrix. A lot of people thought he was singing "Excuse Me While I Kiss the Sky," which of course is not what that is. Or Bruce Springsteen, walks like a douche in the middle of it, which I'm like, that's not it either. But you know what? I sing it like that when I hear it. So when Hotel California from the Eagles comes on, and this is thanks to a meme on Facebook that showed Red Foreman from that 70s show with Cool Whip on his head. And so I would sing it on purpose. Like a dark desert highway, Cool Whip in my hair. And I would sing it along with the radio really loud. Goodbye Jumbo is a great album by World Party. I am going to have to add that to listen to for it along with Young Leon. See, I'm telling you, lots of fun. See, me and Danny, we like nectar. He taught me about World Party. There we go. Wrapped up like a douche in the middle of the night. I'm trying to think of other ones that I would butcher on purpose. Oh my God, I don't know. It's going to take me a little while. Oh, anytime, of course, I ever hear a Weird Al version of a song that I've heard, I sing the Weird Al parts. It doesn't matter anymore. Oh yeah. There's a bathroom on the right. I always sing it like that. Thank you. You know what? That's funny because I think I can't remember if Shannon was with me in the car when Tony did, and I was like, "Hold me closer, Tony dancer." I'm not adopted. I didn't say you were adopted. I'm adopted. Anyways, Tony dancer. I wonder what he fucking did. Yo. Anyways, so. Yeah. Oy vey. All right. So, and before I get into it, another thing I just literally found out. Rest in peace, Spring Hill Mall. Now, I know you're like going, Spring Hill Mall? The hell are you talking about, Psycho? Well, if you lived in the northwest suburbs of Chicago, and you know of a town called West Dundee, Illinois, which is near and dear to where the Boys Rock Group, remember we talked about them, that was East Dundee. Well, West Dundee was Spring Hill Mall. Spring Hill Mall was born in 1980. Yeah. And believe you me, when I had my first car, in 86, that was my first car. I was able to drive since 85, but I got my first car in 86. And if it wasn't me driving to Spring Hill Mall, with either my future first wife or girlfriend or one of my best buddies at the time, Jim Ross or Matt or Martin or whatever, and, we would tool around that. I miss malls, damn it. I do. And one of the places that they happened to have was Musicland. They did have a Musicland in Spring Hill Mall, and that I can tell you what one of the big purchases I bought from Musicland. I remember that my buddy Jim took me to Musicland. I don't know why he took me to Musicland when there was record stores near where the hell I lived, but I guess, we wanted to go to the mall, walk around, and we're like, hey, you got to get this album. You have to get this album. This was 1987, late 87. You got to get this album. It just came out, brand new group, Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction. And I bought that at Musicland on a cassette. Yeah, not vinyl. I had a cassette deck in my car. I got a lot more cassettes at that time. If I came across vinyl cheap, like at garage sale, I'd still buy vinyl. But for the car, I had to have cassettes. If I didn't, I just would tape the damn thing. I had a tape deck attached to the turntable, so I could always have it. But I'm just saying, I always bought most of the time new albums on cassette. So I remember getting that at Musicland at Spring Hill Mall, and they had a great arcade, and they had a lot of anchor stores like you would know from most, Sears, Penny's, all that other type of stuff. And yesterday was the end, ladies and gentlemen. They shut it down. They vacated it. Yesterday was the last day of business. And they're getting ready. I don't know when they're going to start the ball and chain process. Not to be confused with Elton John's ball and chain, but they're going to destroy it after 44 years. Sad, very, very sad. if you haven't seen, you have to go way back in my videos. I would call that a dead mall before it's officially dead. You know, like an abandoned mall, then it's a dead mall. Well, I have an abandoned mall video that I shot that's borderline dead of Frisco Station Mall in Rogers, Arkansas. That mall has been around since 1975. It's still around, but for how long? I shot a video back in 2018. Go check that out if you're bored. I think it's like 10 minutes or less. And I might end up doing an update video this year, possibly. I don't know. I want to go down to Fayetteville, though, because Fayetteville, the mall down there, was made in 1972. It's still there. That surprises the shit out of me. But I'm told that the occupancy is about 60% full. I don't know how true that is, but we're going to find that out. Yes, I was in the car. I had to witness that. From now on, those are the lyrics. I'm not adopted. You know what, Terry? I miss Media Play in Rockford, too. Media Play, let's see. I only got to see one musical celebrity at Media Play. And one of these days, I'll bring out the photo album, and I'll show you, because the picture was taken at Media Play in 94? I think it was 94. Whenever Peter Tork came there for his new album, Stranger Things Have Happened. And I got to meet him. I bought his new album on cassette because I couldn't afford CDs. Were still a little too expensive. I mean, your prices wouldn't go down yet. So I bought it on cassette. So I have a signed, I don't know where the tape went. I've got the signed cassette book, the cover booklet. I have that. I have a signed Headquarters CD from Rhino. And I got a signed vinyl, but it's to my former stepson, David. I've got those, and that was from Media Play. The ones I really kicked myself in the ass for, Froghat was there, I think around the same time frame, like 94, 95, and Cheap Trick also was there. If I remember correctly, it was either when Woke Up With a Monster came out. What a hell of an album that was. Talk about everything going at the wrong time for that album. I'm sorry, I like that damn album. Is that going to end up being a future JFH? Yes, but not for the wrong reasons. You know, I mean, it's just not fair. You know, so it was either Woke Up With a Monster that they did the signing at, or it was the Cheap Trick for Red Ant in '96. I can't remember. Tower Records was the biggest in the East Coast. Well, you know what? Tower Records was pretty good around. You know, I went to the downtown Chicago location. And I only ever, out of the couple of years I went to Chicago, I only ever bumped into two different musically related people. We didn't get the cool acts like Smashing Pumpkins. They'd go to the other location, okay? The one where it takes 2-3 buses to get there. I probably would have got myself damn lost. But, so all I got to see was I bumped into some. Now, if you're good at Hispanic groups, you're going to know who El Jaguar is. I literally bumped into several of the members of El Jaguar, and I also, oh boy, you guys are going to roll your eyes at this, I did literally bump into RuPaul. That's right, RuPaul. Of course, I didn't know RuPaul was a man because I saw RuPaul from the backside, if you get my drift. Dress and all. How was I supposed to know? Till I'm like, something don't look completely right, and that's how I found out it was RuPaul. RuPaul was nice, though. I chatted for 2 seconds with RuPaul. Yes. Stephen Snee said on Doc's last live stream that he was a manager once at Media. Really? He was a manager at Media Place. Snee was, huh? Somehow that doesn't surprise me. He'd have easy access to a lot of that stuff. Oh, Willie. So yeah, so Spring Hill Mall, dead at the age of 44. Rest in peace. I tripped on an old ad or a video commercial, excuse me, from 1978 yesterday, from Old Chicago Amusement Park. So if you were around the Chicagoland area, this place was in Bolingbrook, Illinois, but easily accessible from the expressway. I remember Mom and Dad taking me there twice, if I remember right. It was all right. That was actually the first time I ate at a Wendy's. We didn't have Wendy's in our area. All right. Old Chicago opened up in 1975, late 75, and closed in late 80, if I remember correctly. The thing is, they were advertising concerts. It was an indoor amusement park. I remember this. If you ever saw the movie The Fury, which I think was filmed in 78, they film it inside Old Chicago. I think they did 2 or 3 days of filming. So if you've ever seen that movie, then you've seen the inside of Old Chicago. But they had a lot of cool damn rock acts from like 75 to 80. And I'm like, but the commercial they showed was David Soul in 78. He was there for 2 days. Don't give up on us, baby. Yeah, you could have seen him live at Old Chicago singing that and the Starsky and Hutch theme song. No, I'm kidding. I have no clue. But they had people like Chuck Berry, Black Oak, Arkansas. The Ramones even played there once. Seriously, the Ramones. Just a lot of different bands played at this little indoor amusement park. And unfortunately, you know, they didn't really have anchor stores mixed with bad money management. For you people that are fans of Bozo Circus, though, okay, Wizzo the Wizard, who was Marshall Brodeen, you know, from Hi, I'm Marshall Brodeen, and these are my TV magic cards. He had a magic shop in Old Chicago till shortly before it closed. It's true. It's true. It's true. See, and I could see that. I've only got to meet Rick twice, and he was so laid back and so damn cool. And Terry, I'm going to try. I don't know if I'm going to get up there. I'm going to try to get up there when they open the new Hard Rock in Rockford. And Cheap Trick is supposed to be there for some degree, whether it's performing or being there that day or the weekend it opens or some shit like that. I don't know. It's supposed to be around Labor Day, I'm told. Any favorite Polish food from Chicago? Oh God, I'm gonna feel ashamed of myself. I really am. I think I told you guys that my mom, on my mom's side of the family, was Polish German. Okay, so I know when I was growing up, I had kielbasa, I had Polish sausage, bratwurst, dicka, bears. Anyways, I just don't remember. I can tell you that for dessert-wise, I love those kolaczkis. Oh, we had a bakery half a block down from my house that they were 3rd or 4th generation, and it was Polish-German mix for the bakers. They were so good, so good. They're not there anymore. Yeah, I know, right? So much great music from Chicago. What's up, y'all? Good evening, folks. Grateful, good to have saw you comment on one of my recent videos. I appreciate that tons. Bears. You know, that whole skit, oh my God. And then Chris Farley would like have a stroke and drop dead, and then they'd have to get the paddles to resuscitate. He jumps back up in the hula skirt. Oh my God. Wasn't Ditka on one of those episodes? I could have sworn he was. I shook the lead singer's hand at Cheap Trick. I won my tickets from a radio station, front row center. Now, personally, I only got to meet Robin once. He was a little strange, I'm going to admit that. Yeah, God. Worth your not getting any, huh? All right, that too. I already got a lot of things from you guys today. So, yeah, Old Chicago, though. That was some fun back then. I just wish I wish I lived closer. to that. I would have gone anytime they had a damn concert. And it was cool because it would be like I said, one week it would be Black Oak. Another week it'd be Chuck Berry. Another week it'd be, who the hell? I think, Rex Smith or Sean Cassidy played there. So you would have had all over the place. Now, would I have gone to see Rex or Sean Cassidy? No, I wouldn't have. But I would have gone to see the other stuff. That's for sure. I live in a van down by the river. I would have loved to have met him. I'm going to tell you right now. I have a friend of mine. Well, I don't know. I hope she's doing all right. Her first name is Cherie, okay? And I met her in the mid to late 90s. We went to college together at the same time. She was a former occasional on-air background for the original Mancow radio show. She's even on, I think, the first CD that Mancow did. She's on there, like, briefly on a track or two. But she was dating somebody that was a little bit closer into Mancow's circle. And, what I'm getting at on this story, I'll tell you in a second. But so she ended up having her child, right? When I saw her, the child was only a couple of years old. And the dad was, oh God, I'm going to get this wrong, from LA Guns. No, not Tracy Guns. It was one of the lead singers. There was two. I'm going to get it confused, so I'm not even going to bother mentioning, but she did tell me 100% that it was him. That was the baby daddy. And whatever. So she went off, and she was a part-time bartender, okay? And she was a part-time bartender in this bar that was on the street level, ground level of the Hancock Building, okay? The Hancock Building in downtown Chicago, you could get there by going Michigan Avenue North, okay? You could take a cab or walk, it doesn't really matter. And but like the first couple floors were retail. Then after that, it would be businesses. Like there was a few media, that were in there too. I think WMAQ at one point was in the Hancock Building. And then if you go, I think it's like the last 10 or 20 floors was apartments, okay? Chris Farley lived in one of the top apartments at the Hancock Building. But Chris would go through this bar and have a couple drinks before he'd go upstairs. And he was going to have a Christmas party. And he liked it. Him and Sherry and him got along fantastic. Seriously, okay? And so he invited her to the Christmas party. And basically, what the invitation was the Christmas card. You had to bring the Christmas card. That was your way in. And it said on the Christmas card, Merry Christmas, Cherie. Shot, Chris. And I'm like, what's with the shot, which then she proceeded to tell me that was a drinking game that he used to play, and she did too, when she was off duty in the bartender part. And they would do shot, before he would go upstairs and do whatever his business was up there. So there you go. There's a Chris Farley factoid for you. Oh, and then that Christmas party that she got invited to. So that was supposed to be, this was supposed to be for the following Saturday. And Chris gave it to her a couple days before that. Chris Farley died the Thursday before the Christmas party. So in other words, he died 2 days before the Christmas party. So, yeah, that's what a bummer that was. I miss him, though, damn it. Well, John Belushi was his idol, right? He pretty much went out in almost the same similar fashion. That's sad. That's really sad. But I'll tell you this, that guest SNL spot that he did, oh God, that's hard to watch. No wonder why Lauren won't let it be released again. It is just very difficult. I barely remember that episode. I watched it live, and I think YouTube pretty much has suppressed 90% of those clips because they really don't, they go after you. But I do remember seeing one clip maybe in the last few months. It was like a 2 or 3 minute clip, and that was it. And you just could tell he was sweating profusely already. He was slurring a little bit. I'm like, oh God, how they even made it through is beyond me. I think if I remember correctly, the story went that if you remember watching that episode and Chris Rock happened to be there, Chris Rock was the emergency backup in case Chris couldn't do it. Seriously. So that's how you briefly see Chris Rock in that SNL episode, is because he was the emergency backup. All right, let's go. I know I went long-winded. See, this is what happens when you have ADD. You go all over the place, but eventually I'll go back to point. The title of this video, as I've said before, is Bad Company with Nillson and a serial killer. So, Tower Records, yeah, still lives in Japan, that's right. I bet you that's pretty damn cool. Seriously. Imagine all those Japanese pressings. Oh my God. Okay, if I had, let's see. Obviously, Beatles, Monkeys, Cheap Trick, Badfinger, Kiss, Nectar. I'm probably leaving a few out. I love all the Japanese pressings of all that stuff. I only have one Japanese press of, like I said, that Monkey's Head 1981 reissue on Era stuff. But boy, would I love some original stuff. I really, really would. Excuse me a second, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what's going on here. All right. Bad Company with Harry Nilsson and a serial killer. So I found this. I remember buying this, back in the day on cassette. Yeah. So, Bad Company's Fame and Fortune. That's right. From 1986. Here's the front. Here's the back. Of course. Now this one here, I don't know if it had a lyric sleeve, but it came in a plain white label, white sleeve. And of course, this is going to be what your lamp's going to look like this. But I thought, okay, this is kind of neat. I haven't had that, since I bought it on cassette in '86. Oh God, if that's the case, I'd have to go with. I'd have to have what, $20,000. Can you imagine all the bootlegs I could buy? Oh my God! All right, Bad Company with Nilsson. As everybody knows, I'm also a Harry Nilsson fan too. I'm looking for a nice copy of Flash Harry, by the way. Was never released in the United States. It's a UK, German. I don't know if it came out in Japan, but it was UK and Germany. But I'm looking for a decent copy of Flash Harry. Anywho. Oh, and the other Japanese import I just remembered, I do have an original Live at Budokan with the Epic Target label, which was Japanese at that time. I have that with the writing and everything on it. Pretty friggin' cool, I'll tell you. So this has been on my, all the albums from Nilsson are on my want list. I'm starting to get them. I still am missing a few, But at least I could say I knocked one off today. I got Nillson Sings Newman, that's right. Here's the front, here's the back, and this came out in 70, so got a nice little orange there. Basically, though, it just simply says, most of it was, like I said, Nillson and Newman. They were the basic two to the whole entire thing here. It was pretty basically simple, was this. So I'm glad to have that in my collection to add to all the other Nillson stuff that I got. Yeah, I love Tower Records too. I miss them. They had all kinds of stuff. My God. I mean, they did have clearance vinyl. I remember that at my tower that I used to go to in the 90s. They also had really cool CD section, excuse me. And I used to get, sometimes that's how I got my gold mine and discoveries, was through Tower and a few other music magazines that I would get from time to time. I think I bought more music magazines and books than I did anything else really from Tower that I can remember anyway. But yeah, so, all right. Bad Company, Whit Nillson, and a Serial Killer. So I found this, I went back, I found this bag last week at an antique mall. And it was still there today. And I'm like, And I did something I normally don't do. Now, I don't know about you, but whenever, because, I mean, when you go to a flea market or antique mall or whatever, there's lots of cameras all over the place. You don't want to do something shady looking. So what I did was, the bag was still there. I said bag. You'll see why in a minute. And I actually asked the lady, I'm like, look, is there a way we can open this, please? I need to see what's in here as to whether or not I'm going to buy this whole thing. He also had bags of 45s, like 20 45s in bags, and he was charging stuff. So she's like, you know what? She goes, normally no, but for you I will, because I'm a regular customer. So she undid it. I got to see everything in it. And I'm like, okay. So, oh yeah. Cereal Box Records, ladies and gentlemen. Cereal Box Records. Now, I was born in 67, okay? No surprise there. But for you people, and I said you people, from about 69 to about maybe 72, you had cereal box records. Workable records that you cut off of the back of a cereal box. That's right. I almost didn't get these, but then I found something I wanted in the middle. I'm going to show you all of this. And you know what? Whoever cut these things did a pretty good job. They really didn't kind of screw this up very much. They did. They didn't. Huh. I don't know. Looks like this. Anyways, so here's an Archie's record. Yeah. Sugar. The cereal's full of sugar. How about Bobby Sherman? Oh, yes. Courtesy of Metro Media. With full fidelity. Ha ha ha. For a cereal record. This is record number, and I can't see it really good. There's a stamp on it somewhere where you could read what the record number is, but don't ask me. But you have 5 songs on it. Now, I'd like to know, it's got to be like little blips. Okay, it's got to be. For you to have 5 songs on here, Easy Come, Easy Go, La La La, July 17, time, and fun and games. Julie, 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 do you love me? All right. How about, oh, I got a duplicate. That's okay, because some of these I'm going to turn and sell. I am, especially the duplicates. Now, this one here, unfortunately, is a little bent, but that's okay. This one is Motown. I know, I'm sorry for the glare. Motown, and there's I'll Be There, Never Can Say Goodbye, and Mama's Pearl. It says here, this is record number 1. What? I don't know what that is. Some Evatone thing. It says Saul Meets the Press. I don't know what the hell that is. Alright. Hey, and then this one here, they left a little bit of the cereal box on. But this one here says Sugar Daddy, Going Back to Indiana, and Who's Loving You? This is record number 2. And it says, just cut along dotted line, punch out center hole, ready to play. Collect all 3 records. That's what the edge says this here. See the Jackson 5 every Saturday on ABC TV. So I know you can't really see that very well, but it's kind of neat that they actually left a little more than the record. You don't get to see that often. And then somebody threw in here these are little records with fairy tales. Jack and the Beanstalk. Robin Hood and his 7 hoods. No, I'm kidding. That's not it. This one's a little bent. Pinocchio. And Jack and the Beanstalk. Another Bobby Sherman. Now this one here, I know that this is from some toy doll. Okay? I have no clue. Get your fingers off, you're ruining the high fit. Thank you. Dance Arena, it says. Dance Arena, and it says on the back, on automatic changers, play in manual position. If record clings to non-rotating spindle, enlarge hole with a pencil. And if record is curled, bend in opposite direction to flatten. Yes. And somebody threw me an extra one of these as a bonus. I need one of those. I'll show you why I bought this for the last. But then you got this one here. Jackson 5. This is record number... crap, I can't tell. ABC, I Want You Back. I'll Bet You, Darling Dear, and Maybe Tomorrow. Yeah. Another Sugar Daddy. Another one of these. That's cool, but I've got dupes. Like I said, this will come in handy for some things. Different Archies on this one. This one here, You Make Me Want to Dance. Catching up the Fun, Jingle Jangle, and Love Light are on this one. Hey, here you go. Bobby Sherman. Yeah, he's all there for you. Ladies. Hello, ladies. It's Bobby Sherman. Future EMT. But this one here has got, look at the outfit back then. Look at that. I think I had a shirt almost similar to that when I was a kid. I'm not going to lie. And you know what? White pants might look cool in a photo shoot, but there's no way in hell I'd wear white pants. You imagine all the, like, if I ate a hot dog or something and all the, I try not to be a messy eater. Hey, Lisa. And from Jackass Flats, ladies and gentlemen, Dave, the artist. Is he wearing a choker? Yes! Good eye! Oh, good eye! He is wearing a choker! I don't even think they did that shit back in the late 60s. The man's a freak. He's super freaky. Cool choker. Julie, 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 do you love me? Collect all 5. I have cereal box CDs with names like Hits from the 70s, Disco Dance Craze, all distributed by Kellogg's. And when us old people listen to the 70s music and try to dance to them, our bones go snap, crackle, pop. That's right. Will says, shout out to Dave the Pickup Artist. Another Doopy Jackson. Alright. No different Archies this time. Same picture, you just have to figure out which ones, if you got the duplicates or not. This says record number 2. So you make, oh no, this is the same one, never mind. That's alright though, like I said, I don't mind having these duplicates because what I want to do is I want to trade some of these dupes for certain cereal box records. You guys are going to know what I found some more. The hell? I can't read that. Oh, Snow White. Different Robin Hood. And Hansel and Gretel. Should bring them back for the K-pop. That's funny, and that would work, wouldn't it? What the hell? Slow burning remote center for a 45 RPM. That's what it says. On both sides. This is a little cheapy. This one here just says Archie's Records, does not show title. Somebody did try, like this next one here. Thanks for writing on it, Jan. Another duplicate. That's all right, though. Like I said, these came out to less than $1. I want to say maybe 50, 60 cents a piece. That's not too bad. I ought to be able to do okay. Another Archie's. And same ones. That's fine. I know dang well that there is a bunch of Archie's collectors that are going to buy these. Now, what are the 2 that I went and got out of this? You want to take a guess before I show you the ones that I found as to why I'm keeping these 2? Here they come on a cereal box. The Monkees, you're damn right. Yes, I have been looking for some of these cereal box records for years. Years, I'm telling you, and I am happy. I have 2. I'll show you the other one in a minute. But now these came out 1969, 1970. There's several different ones. And before you people ask, because some have, where's Peter's face on here? He was no longer in the band by then. That is the reason why you only see 3 Monkees. So, and on this says here, this is record number 1. And if I am correct, one of these cereal box records had an alternate take. Seriously, that was not on a record, and I'm not sure which it is. Exactly right, anyway. Wish the Beatles, could you imagine if the Beatles would have done cereal? Or the Stones? Or the Kinks? That would have been alright, right? Because remember though, okay, so here's the monkey bit. What's up, Dave? I enjoy your work. We all enjoy Dave's work. So when the Monkees won from 66 to 68, the sponsorship was KELLOGS, Kellogg's, and they made these silly commercials. They were pretty cool. But why they didn't put cereal box records on the Kellogg's stuff, I have no damn clue. That was a missed opportunity right there, right? So when the TV show canceled in 68, mutually maybe, and of course the Monkey movie Head comes out, Saturday morning television, 1969 to 1972, they end up on Saturday morning TV. If I remember correctly, CBS, I think. But I also could have sworn ABC took them for a season 2 for Saturday morning. I'm not sure about that. You're right, and I remember hearing that, and I thought that was a cool friggin' jingle, to be honest with you. I do remember hearing that a couple of years ago. So, from 69 to 72, Post was the sponsor, and that's how you land with it says here, one of 4 different records right on the box, collect all 4. So I need somehow to get the other 2. I got it on a Stones boot. Oh, that's cool. That's right, Kool-Aid did, and in fact, all right, so the Kool-Aid commercial and Bugs Bunny's in it too, and it's the Kool-Aid commercial where they're in the theme park. That's the last Kool-Aid commercial that they did. It was February 1970. And that was Mike Nesmith's last duty. He left, I said duty. He left the Monkees officially by March 1st. He was gone. And so that was the last Kool-Aid one. And I think really close on that time frame too was the Nerf giveaway. Remember when they were, if you bought so many Kool-Aid packs, you could get a Nerf ball? Because Nerf was brand. I love it because Mike goes, a Nerf's a Nerf. But, so on this record, you've got Last Train to Clarksville, I Want to Be Free, Forget That Girl, and Valerie. Now, if I remember correctly, this is the one that has the original Valerie. All right, the one that's on the TV show, not the 68 single, okay? So you could get this on a cereal box record, and I think for many years until this, was it Missing Link Volume 1 or Volume 2 that had the original Valerie put on it. So this was the only other way you could get it other than taping it off the television set like I did. Hey James, how are you doing? The other one that I happen to have looks like this, and you got your Cold Gems logo is there in the middle of it. This says this is record number, oh boy, I can't read this. I want to say it says 2, I could be wrong, but it says for the 4 songs here, Monkees theme, Teardrop City. What the hell? What? Papa Gene Blues. Oh God, and the Day We Fell in Love. I hate that song. That's one of the few Monkees songs I hate. But so there you go, right? So pretty cool, if I do say so myself. And considering that, in essence, Teardrop City, thank you. Volume 2. So yeah, it would be many, many years. But if I remember correctly, Volume 2 came out in 90. So yeah, that was your first official release, although you could get it on bootlegs, at least in the 80s. So yeah, so this is the reason why I bought them, was just for these 2 things. But if anybody's got the other 2 cereal box records that I'm looking for, I have some Archie's and Jackson 5 cereal box and Bobby Sherman I can trade you. I'll hang on to these for a couple of weeks at least, because if I don't hear nothing, then I'm going to go and send these to my son, and we will sell them in groups. Yeah, all 3 volumes are great. They really are. I'm glad to have all 3 of them in CD and vinyl, courtesy of Friday Music. So yeah, there's your title. Bad Company with Nillson and a serial killer. Why a serial killer? Because he kind of had to eat a lot of damn cereal to get these cereal box records. So there. I think they're neat. And like I said, I maybe only paid on average, maybe not even 50 cents a piece for all these. So, and they're cut pretty nice. And most of them are not bent in any way, shape, or form. And I'm happy to have them. Oh, man, oh man. Yeah, I know. But you know what? I like it anyway, though. I like the clip that they, oh God, what was it? Glenn Campbell Hour, where they're performing it, and like the cameramen are pulling pranks on Mickey because they keep shifting from one camera to the other, and Mickey's trying to catch which one he's supposed to look in. Okay, see, now that, James, is one of the records I'm looking for. Is the one with Pleasant Valley Sunday. I don't know if that's record 3 or 4. But yeah, so that's pretty cool that you got that one. Yeah. So let's see. Oh boy, what can we talk about? Well, it's a big subject, right? So I found out, I kind of felt bad. I was supposed to maybe go to Joplin today, and I just was not up for it. That's why I didn't bother calling my executive producer, and I'm just was like, we'll go up there another day. Oh, excuse me, I have no problem doing that. And this afternoon, I found out that the wrestling show that I was supposed to go to with her next Saturday down in Springdale, Arkansas, has been canceled. My money has been refunded. And I'm like, well, that part, I guess, is a good news, but I was a little disappointed in a way because I was hoping maybe that I could have got to see some people. The last time I checked, truthfully, was on the card. Up until last week, they still showed Rob Van Dam and Brian Cage and others, but then I started hearing that Rob Van Dam 4 or 5 days ago went up against Ricky Morton from Rock and Roll Express on the East Coast, and I'm going, well, if he's on the East Coast, how's he going? Because he just was on AEW TV, and so was Brian Cage. Well, then I thought I heard from somebody that Brian Cage is over wrestling in Australia currently. So I'm like, well, if he's wrestling in Australia, he certainly isn't going to come back to Springdale, Arkansas from Australia. So I had a bad feeling that I thought maybe something was going to happen. And, well, at least they were nice enough to refund the money. I have heard of horror stories about wrestling promotions that did not do that, and people got burned. So I have to at least commend Mid-South to at least refund me my money, and I'm thankful for that. But I'm hoping somewhere down the line that they do try again in Springdale. I'm not sure why they had to cancel it. None of my business. But hopefully maybe we can get to see some fine wrestling down there in Springdale. And now in May, there's going to be wrestling in Rockford. Not Rockford. What am I talking about? In Rogers, excuse me. And yes. That's funny. Why did you bring up atrophy? That's funny you bring up atrophy. I'm not really ready to talk about atrophy. But I will say this, though, shenanigans. I did bump into the member of Atrophy. He was a little spooked because he found out, he's like, how do you know my name? And so I had to explain everything. And I also explained what I want to do. So hopefully hopefully we can talk and maybe he'll be on board, I hope. I know that he's looking at possibly going to South America, Central America. Oh boy. But yeah, I thought I heard he's going to be doing a tour of Central or South America pretty soon. So I don't know when he's going on tour with the rest of Atrophy. If you don't know what Atrophy is, that is a thrash metal band that originally came out of Tucson, Arizona, formed in 87, 88, maybe a little earlier than that. They had 2 albums. One of them, if I remember correctly, was on Roadrunner Records, 88 and 90. And by 92, I'm told, poof, well, they came back. And they have a new album. Excuse me. Go look up Seeds of Sorrow. I think you're going to like that one. There's a couple songs out there already with music videos. And I told him I thought that really, really cool. Honestly, I thought several of those songs I told him were great. And hopefully, maybe soon, I could maybe review the album on the channel here. And then you guys can see and hear what I'm talking about. So let's see. What was I going to say? I'm going to wind this up pretty soon here, but I'm going to leave you with 2 musical-related stories. 3 musical-related stories. So, I found out a couple days ago that Ricky Phillips, bass player of Styx for the last 22, 23 years, amicably has left the band. Styx starts a new tour. I want to say it's this week or next, and I heard a blurb on something. I'm not sure if Jeff Pilson is going to do double duty. I said double duty because he's bassist for Foreigner on the last tour here. Of course, former Dokken bass player, and I mean he's a lot of things, but is he going to maybe be the new bass player for Styx official? I don't know. But that's the blurb I'm hearing at this point, is maybe the replacement bass player. Also, I lied. I have 4 stories. Grand Funk Railroad. We discussed them about maybe an episode or 2 ago in regards to how Bruce Kulick, formerly of Kiss, and was guitarist for Grand Funk for 23, 24 years. He has left the band about a month or 2 back, and they did not at that time mention who the guitar player was that replaced. All of us were praying for Mark Farner. No dice. You ain't getting that. It's Mark Caulfield from the Gods, G-O-D-C. And if you've ever heard that, they're biker rock, or at least the first couple albums were. I had the first album of the Gods on Millennium Records. It was produced by Don Brewer, so that kind of explains some things in regards to how you still have a Grand Funk connection in essence with this lineup. So he is the new guitar player of Grand Funk Railroad. Let's see. Also, King Crimson. So there is a new band coming out with the permission of Robert Fripp, and they are going to be performing King Crimson music. You have, believe it or not, Steve Vai. Steve Vai is going to be involved in this. You also have Tony Levin, Adrian Ballou, and damn it, I can't remember the other member right now. But they're all going to be going out on tour. Very, very sick. Now listen, I only heard a blurb about this, and it was only an hour before I filmed here. Now, I don't know much about what happened, and I feel very bad for those people that died in Moscow for that rock concert. I don't know. I'd like to shootings? Oh, not this again. It's just like what, remember from Vegas from a few years ago. Wasn't it 72 people dead in the U.S. because of that? 11, oh God. Was this was it terrorist based? Or was this just crazy people? Well, I guess you could say they kind of are interchangeable, but I mean, was there an organization behind this is what I'm asking. Don't shut me down, YouTube. It was just an inquiry. I'm just asking. I'm not implying anything. Really? Is that what there's... God, we'll never get rid of them. We'll never get rid of them. They're like Hydra. You take out a leg, another one will grow somewhere else. It's ridiculous. Anyways... So let's see. So, like I said, King Crimson new band, approved by Robert Fripp. And here's another thing. This one's Beatles related. I thought this was pretty damn cool, to be honest with you. U.S. warned about... jeez. Great. That's great. So to me, this Beatles story amazed me. Okay, this goes to show you that in 2024, you still can find stuff that you didn't even know existed. All right, so we go back to May of 1967. And no, we're not talking Carnival of Life. Of course he is. That doesn't surprise me either. So we're going back to May 1967, Brian Epstein's house, at the launch party for Sgt. Pepper. Now, as we have known since 1967, there were several photographers, including Linda Eastman, Paul's future wife, that took lots of photographs. I thought I read somewhere that could be up to 100 different photos that were published having to do with that party. But this is going up for auction, and I hope Apple buys it. It is a 16 millimeter film that was filmed at that launch party. Yeah, that's right. Now, we don't know if it's black and white or color, but they said, considering, this was the article, this was dailybeetle.com, in case you're wondering where I got the source from, that by 1967, most of your 16 millimeter was in color, although you could, pull strings and get black and white. So let's just throw out there, for example, let's pray that it's 16 millimeter in color, and it does have sound, 20-minute reel. So 20 minutes of this launch party, and yes, the Beatles are in this film. I don't know for how long, but they're there in this 20-minute, previously unknown, recorded film off a 16 millimeter film camera. I think that's pretty damn cool. I do know that there was some work on it, but basic work done on it. And so hopefully, like I said, Apple maybe will buy it, I know Apple puts people that are secretive, so that they could bid something and then nobody knows it's really, just like Paul used to do with his stuff. He would never go out to the auctions. He would go and send people from his company to be bidders, and make sure they couldn't go home until they got the prize. So I think that's pretty damn cool. Nevertheless, hopefully, like I said, we'll get to see that maybe in the future. I think that'd be really, really nice. I think hopefully at least whoever does get the film, it would be really nice if they would post, I don't know, a 1 to 2 minute clip on YouTube just to give us a taste of what was on the thing. That would be nice. I'm not going to hold my breath on it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to wind this down. I really appreciate all you people up there. I had up to about 13 people today, and that's fine. That's fine. You guys can always watch this on the replay. And I'm trying to think here. I'm hoping to do one Wednesday. Probably Wednesday. Maybe I'll do my next show. I'm not sure when yet, but I just want everybody to just, you know what, have a good week. Try to anyway, okay? I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. God bless. Rock on. And like I said, be good to yourselves and all that other stuff. Yeah, that's a good question, isn't it? It depends on how much acid and weed were consumed and booze. At least it wasn't like the Ruddles party where everybody was on tea. Oh, those tea people. Sergeant Rudder, ladies and gentlemen. The Sergeant Rudder album was all done by consummation of tea. Not sponsored by Lipton or Louisiana. All right. I love you guys. Take care. God bless. Rock on.